everyone. Happy Monday. Happy New Year. I'm Maureen Boyle. I am a mental health therapist. I am a school counselor, and I'm also an anxiety and parenting coach. I wanted to get on today and just give a couple quick tips that your kids have right at their fingertips to help them manage their anxiety. But first, I want to just quickly tell you what my objectives are when I'm working with kids with anxiety. The first objective I have is to help them understand anxiety. So we'll talk about things like their fight or flight response, what their triggers are, when they notice that it happens, because the more knowledge they have and the more predictability there is, the better they feel. The second objective I have is to give them quick, simple strategies that they can use anywhere. The key here is that when kids feel anxious, a lot of times they tend to ask their grown-ups for a ton of reassurance, and they don't necessarily have the confidence in themselves to cope with the anxiety. So it's really important that we empower kids to take these strategies on and use them on their own, especially when their grown-ups are not there. And then the third objective I have is helping kids engage that mind-body connection, get in their body and get grounded. Because when a child is feeling anxious, they are typically lost in their thoughts. They're not very rational, and they're either thinking about something that has already happened or worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. So we need to get them in the present moment. And then those strategies are all simple things you can do with just your hand, and you always have it with you, so it's great. The first one is called roller coaster breathing, and I have kids just trace their hands. They will go up with an in-breath, stop at the top, and on the way down, an exhale. So and so on. They continue, and they can do it as many times as they need. This is a great technique because the tracing engages their body. It also helps slow down the breathing, and it gives them something to focus on. The next strategy is called Take 5. Take 5 is really good for helping kids get grounded, especially if they're kind of having like a full-blown panic attack. We want to get them to be aware of their surroundings and what's happening in the room. So Take 5 is 5 things you can see. So I'll have students or my own kids notice what's in the room, what are 5 things that are yellow, point them out to me. 4 things that they can feel, and that could be something that they could touch, they could grab physically, or something they can feel inside of themselves, just taking a pause and noticing what the air feels like, you know, going through their nostrils and out through their mouth, or maybe what their stomach feels like. The third thing is 3 things that they can hear. Just tune into the, room, sense what's going on, listen for your own breathing, or maybe there's a radiator going or someone talking. 2 things that they can smell, and then 1 positive coping statement. Some people will do 1 thing that you can taste, but I like to make it a positive coping statement because if you're at school, you might not have an option of something to taste. So those are the strategies for Take 5. And then lastly, I like to use something called 5 categories. And 5 categories is a really good strategy for bedtime. When the kids are ruminating or worrying, this gives them something else to focus on. So you think of any topic that you want, and you have to name 5 things within that topic. So it might be your 5 favorite movies. And then you touch your finger to your thumb for everything that you list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on to the next topic. Maybe your 5 best vacations, and so on. And it just gives them, 1, engages that physical piece, and also distracts them. Because there's only so many things that we can concentrate on at once. So when that fight or flight response is going, when we distract our kids and get them to focus on something else, their anxiety starts to lower because their focus is off of how bad they feel. So those are my tips for today. I hope that they are helpful to you, and I'll certainly do my best to provide you with more helpful content. Please leave me a message if there's anything that you're struggling with or your child, and I can curate my content to match your need. If you are looking to explore, counseling sessions or just a consult, feel free to email me at maureenboylecoaching@gmail.com, or just send me a direct message in my Instagram or Facebook. Hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.